So you are probably doing one of these 5 things that are hindering your progress and your hard-earned work after every single workout. And so I wanted to mention this so you can be with the heads up for the next time you go to the workout. When you're gonna do anything after this, try not to do these 5 things that I'm gonna show you in today's video. So let's get to the first one, and it's having cold showers and plunges. Now, there was a trend, and there's still kind of a trend, that you can do some cold plunges, right? And you just immerse into very cold water for an amount of time, let's say 5 minutes, or in a cold shower that you go and do. But the problem with this is that it's around timing. For example, if you do this at your mornings after you wake up and and brush your teeth and everything, that's fine, that's great. But the problem is when you do it right after your workouts. Physiologically, what you're doing is that you are relaxing your muscles after tensing the muscles and working the muscles, right? So when your muscles are worked and you create a hypertrophy response, then you're in a protein synthesis state. But if you go and do a cold shower or a cold plunge right after, you're doing the opposite. You're just relaxing your muscles, and your muscles are becoming into a catabolic state. I'm not saying that you don't need to do this because you need to have a really, really cold plunge. I'm talking about less than 40 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. But still, I wouldn't recommend having a cold shower. You can have a hot shower instead right after your workouts, as this actually doesn't hinder your progress, in my opinion. So if you do this, try to do it before your workouts or in the mornings, which is way more beneficial for your cognitive health. It helps you wake up and everything. So I highly recommend doing that instead of doing cold plunges or showers after your workouts. The second one is always being in a high stress environment. Let's say you work out in the mornings, you do your lifting weights routine, you do your weights routine, your cardio routine, you do everything. But right after that, you go and work on a job that maybe you don't like because you're doing it for the money, right? And it's a high stress environment. And the problem with this is that your body starts producing a lot of cortisol, and this hinders your progress no matter if you're losing fat or gaining muscle, especially gaining muscle. And so for this reason, it's important that if you are always living in a high stress environment, meaning in a job or high stress family, which that happens a lot, or even with yourself, you're always in stress, you're always overthinking too much, then what I will do is that first try to meditate, because some things are controllable, some things are not controllable. And if you meditate consistently for at least 10 minutes a day, in the mornings, in the evenings, right before you go to sleep, I think this is super optimal, because you focus on the present, you focus on the now, on your breath, on the movements of your body. Thing is that you're mindful of the present, and that helps you not think too much about the future or the past, and this way you have less stress, and so you get a better flux during your day of work. Now, of course, I'm not saying you don't go to work after your workouts. If your job is very high stress, then think of ways that you can lower your stress. If you are with a lot of work, of unnecessary tasks that another person can do for you, then try to negotiate that. If you work under a boss, then try to negotiate that with him. If you have a business, I know that having a business, it's very, very high stress, but try to find ways to manage that stress, to take a little of those 5 to 10 minute breaks, go out for a walk. Don't be in a high stress environment, because that's really gonna hinder your progress from building a lot of muscle. Joyfrey Veritas Schofield posted a video like 2 weeks ago about his 10-year progress, and he had like a year where he almost didn't get any muscle because of a high stress environment he was in. Those times are also where you get more mentally tougher and get better at everything. So look always at the positive things at the end of the day, right? Or the third one is not having enough sleep. You know how much I preach sleep in my channel. I'm gonna give you the best example. In my case, I'm studying right now electrical engineering, currently in my 5th year, and it's tough. I need to study for at least 2 hours every single day. But it's managing your time, because if you manage your time to sleep between 7 and 9 hours every single night, the rest of your days are gonna be way more easier to manage. You know, you're gonna have the time to study, you're gonna have the time to do other things. Like for me right now, I'm doing this YouTube video for y'all, but you're gonna sacrifice some things. You know, you can't go out every single day, every single night, or every single weekend. You must do other things that really have more priorities. On the book of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which I'm reading right now as well, because I have the time to read a book as well, is that focus on the non-urgent important things. And these things are the things that you're leaving for later, but you know they are very important because you know they're gonna help you grow as a person in the 4 dimensions of your life, you know, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Sometimes you need to make the time, like Alex Hormozzi said. I learned that from him as well. You need to make the time, because if you say I don't have the time, you're just putting the best excuse to not do anything to improve yourself, right? If you don't have enough sleep, it's because maybe you're not prioritizing in the right things. You're staying very, very late watching a lot of social media, because I know that's very addicting. So you need to find ways to prioritize on the non-urgent important things and leave the non-important and non-urgent things to the side, which are social media, video games, spending too much time hanging out with maybe friends that are not your friends. The 4th one is not having peri-workout nutrition. Now, what is peri-workout nutrition? It sounds weird, right? But I read the book of Body Recomposition of Jeff Nippert, and in one of his pages he talks about this, and it's basically the nutrition you have around your workouts. You have pre-workout nutrition, intra-workout nutrition, and post-workout nutrition. This nutrition should be high in carbs. You know, you should at least eat around 15 grams of carbs before and after your workouts. You know, 15 grams of carbs before and another 15 grams after. Of course, that's the minimum. You can eat way more carbs if you have the goal of building muscle or losing fat. It all depends on what's your goal currently, right? But if you don't have any pre-workout nutrition, for example, if you don't eat even a banana with a protein shake, you're gonna feel more tired in your workouts. Okay, so maybe not, it depends, but if you haven't eaten something for the past 3-4 hours and you go work out, you're gonna feel the difference. If you are fasted and you're gonna work out right in the morning, that's completely okay. You know, just drink some coffee, some caffeine, you're good to go. But the most optimal thing is to have a pre-workout nutrition. This way your body utilizes the nutrients the best way for your workouts, right? So pre-workout, try not to be a very huge meal, because then you're digesting that during your workout and you know you're not gonna feel that good. But if you eat high absorbing foods that don't need too much time to absorb in your body, that's great. So now in your post-workout, you can actually have a bigger meal and a better meal, like with some additional fats and, you know, complex carbs and all those good stuff with high protein as well. Last one, I think this is a very, very important, especially if you're a beginner, is that following bad fitness advice. You know, when I was a beginner, especially before training consistently, I followed advice of people that didn't know what they were talking about, telling me stuff like no pain, no gain, as much weight as you can as possible, or every set to failure. Some advice like this is advice, or someone telling you, oh, this is the best exercise to do. If your friends, they are maybe as unexperienced as you, if you're a beginner, start telling you some advice, don't listen to them, you know. I think the best thing you can do is, if you don't have the money, then do your research, go into internet, ask ChatGPT if you want to, or go to YouTube, watch videos with people like me, or more advanced people, science-based people like Jeff Nippert, Mike Israetel, Milo Wolf, Dr. Pack. All of those people that are very, very science-based and know what they're doing and know what they're talking about. Mental Hanselmans as well. But if you follow advice of your friends, you're not gonna get anywhere. It's gonna be way more harder for you to reach the goals of building muscle or losing fat, because they tell you, oh dude, volume, you know, eat as much food as you can. Take a step back and really watch what your friends are telling you and ask yourself if that's actually true or not, right? So these are the 5 things that I really want to show you in this video around things that are hindering your progress, and the 5 things that you should stop doing before your workouts or after your workouts especially. So if you like this advice, you can comment down below which one are you doing and which ones you were doing before and have realized that are not that effective. As well, check out my shorts. I started posting shorts again, as well as my personal training website down below, all in the description. If you want some online training with me, watch this video right now to see how you can train your tibialis anterior.